Well, hello. Welcome to yet another episode of Parks and Conversation. This is a podcast where we talk about the classic NBC sitcom Parks and Recreation. This is just a fun little journey that we're going through. And today's episode is a momentous event in the history of Pawnee. And I'm excited to talk about it with you all. But most importantly, my name is Jason. That's not the most important thing. I'm also joined by my friend Jeremy. That's the most important thing. Jeremy's all the way across town. And by the power of technology and Grayskull, he's here to say hello. Say hello, Jeremy.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, man, it is going so well. I very much enjoy Season 3, Episode 7, Harvest Festival. It's what we've been building to for the last 6 episodes. And so I'm excited to talk about this. The basic premise is today's the day for the Harvest Fest that is supposed to save everybody's jobs. But the downside is there could be a Native American curse.
Oh,
So, as you do, that classic yarn. So, Jeremy, first impressions of this episode. What do you got?
it is good.
Nailed it.
Yeah, no, they for something that's been building up for so long, like it's great. It's everything that needed to happen. It shows that Leslie is competent, and even when things go bad, she, it overcomes, and it shows more of the ridiculousness of the mentality of the people of Pawnee, especially the media and Joan Calamezzo. And everybody's in it in this one, so it's really a fun ensemble one. And the fair, the set, everything was great. And yeah, even just like the problems that everyone gets into are all, I thought, were fun. Sometimes the problems are just like, really, come on. But we'll talk about them all. But yeah, this is a great episode. What'd you think?
Yeah, I very much enjoy this episode. And as I was watching it, it was one of those things where it's like, this really feels like it should be a season finale.
Mm-hmm.
And it originally aired in March 2011, and March 17, 2011. So my friend Darren's birthday. So happy birthday, Darren. And so it feels like it should wrap up the season. Like the whole thing was building to this. And then there's, 19 more episodes after this one.
Right.
Yeah. And like season 3 is great. There's a lot of good stuff that goes on, but I don't know. I wish this would have been the capper to the season, like end on a victory for the team. But you don't always get what you want. Like Leslie did not want to have Sue's salad in the Harvest Fest at all, but she compromised.
Man, so, what a great segue.
Yeah, I segue good. So segue good. Me good seguer. So this episode starts off with one of the most important introductions in the cold open in the history of the show, because Leslie is gathering everybody together and saying, hey, Harvest Fest is tomorrow. And so we're all got our jobs to do. It's all going to be great. And our jobs are on the line. So don't mess up, basically, is the theme throughout the whole episode. And then she says, we've got a very special surprise for everybody. Indiana's own Lil Sebastian. And Jeremy, how would you describe Lil Sebastian?
He's a little horse.
Well, he's not a little horse. He's a miniature horse.
Yeah, it's a mini.
He's not a pony. There's a big difference.
Tiny pony horse.
Yeah, he's a horse. And everybody Jerry brings Lil Sebastian into the office, which is weird. Like, why are you bringing livestock into a government building?
He's a celebrity.
Don't understand that.
He's a celebrity.
Well, we come to find out how much of a celebrity he is. As everybody freaks out. I mean, one of the best parts is Ron's giggle when he sees Lil Sebastian. It's the same giggle that happened after Ron and Andy were playing catch in the parking lot. It's that same reaction of just like pure joy and giddiness, which we don't see from Ron very often. And so Lil Sebastian brings that out in him. And even his his commendation to Leslie. Well done, Leslie. Well done.
Yeah.
He is so excited.
Like it keeps hitting him in waves, kind of like, yes, it's here. And then it's like, you made this happen. It's like it's all good in Ron's world at this moment.
Yeah. And the closest feeling I have to that kind of like, wow, this is really happening
is when pizza shows up finally.
No, Facebook is a weird thing, right? And you're not on Facebook, so you don't see all the stuff, but it sends you memories. And today is actually the 2-year, not to brag, 2-year anniversary of me getting approved for my dissertation.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
And yeah, so it was one of those things where like on that day, I was filled with great peace and like joy. And like it came in waves, like where I was like, oh, wow, I don't have to do that anymore. I'm done. And then so today when that picture showed up of like Kathy taking a picture of me, like, hey, he finished, I had all those feelings again. And so somewhere along the line, all these people were introduced to Lil Sebastian over 20 years ago. And they were so enamored with him that just the sight of him brings that kind of like joy back, that childlike joy, which is great.
Right, because they introduced him at the first Harvest Festival back in 1978.
Well, it was the last Harvest Festival.
Something they
did for years.
Mm-hmm.
So they introduced it at the last Harvest Festival, and so now at this reintroduction of Harvest Festival to the city of Pawnee, here comes the star of the show, a miniature horse.
Yeah.
And as a human being, I feel more in line with Ben on the Lil Sebastian phenomenon. I am an outsider to this whole thing, and I just don't get it. It's a dumb little horse. So,
but I think what it's one of those things where it's Pawnee being Pawnee, like when Ben told Leslie at the budget meeting thing, like Pawnee isn't special. It's like, yeah, this isn't a big deal to anybody else but Pawnee. And so to Pawnee, this is what makes them special. And this is like the first part kind of Ben really starting to get to see, why people think Pawnee is so special in their own world, whether he believes it or sees it or not. I think he's finally getting kind of indoctrinated into the Pawnee-ness of Pawnee.
Right. And how they obsess about the most bizarre stuff.
Right.
So, I mean, this is a big deal for them, but then also we're going to have the Reasonablists in a couple episodes. And
yes.
So there's some things that happen in Pawnee where it's like, oh, I see how cults happen easily here.
Yeah.
Like if Lil Sebastian was just carrying around a book, people would probably like go to the horse and ask for spiritual guidance. Like that's how much they love this horse.
I thought you meant like he was like a traveling library.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe that's how we got there.
A book.
And as soon as the Parks Department saw him with that book, they just like threw it away and said, "No, you're our horse now." So, because libraries are the worst, stupid book jockeys.
Oh, hey, perfect.
Yeah. I didn't even get it, and then you. Oh man, an accidental pun. That was great. Yeah, so maybe that's what started the rivalry. We've got our whole new headcanon going on here. Like,
right?
Why is there so much animosity between the library and the Parks Department? It all comes down to Lil Sebastian.
There you go.
He can bring people together as long as you don't mention books.
Yes.
Yeah. So Ben is asking, like, what's the big deal? Does he do something special? And April's like, he's the best at being a miniature horse. And Ron's response is, this horse has an honorary doctorate from Notre Dame. And so like, it's like, what the heck is happening? Ben is very confused. And so then they're like, all right, he's very frail and very delicate. And so Jerry's going to be in charge of him, which, gives us a point of tension right away because we are getting to know Jerry and he's not good at his job. And he says, yeah, we are actually on the same diabetes medication, so that is a great joke. And so, yeah, so that's the cold open. We meet Lil Sebastian. We know the Harvest Fest is happening. And so we're off off to the races, as it were.
And Ben still says like, no, and in a really nice way. He's like, no, but seriously, like, I think he really wants to know why. And so he goes, no, but yeah, I don't get it. And Leslie's just like, get out.
Yeah,
you don't belong here. Just go.
Yeah, Ben is like an anthropologist who has come into a mall to buy candles. No, he is an anthropologist who's come into a community, and he's genuinely asking questions.
Yeah,
but the community is so hostile towards outsiders that it's
yes.
like you'll never get it. Like even one town over, Eagleton, they hate them so much, and there's some bad blood in the history, but like anytime somebody from Eagleton will come to Pawnee, immediately suspicious.
Sure.
So it's kind of like the Village, the M. Night Shyamalan movie.
I was like, okay.
Yeah. So
there you go. Anytime you can wedge M. Night into something.
Oh, I do.
Oh, yeah.
Did you watch the Super Bowl?
I did.
Did you see? Yeah, the trailer. I was like, ooh, that looks awful or awesome.
Yeah.
To be determined.
Yeah, exactly. So like an M. Night movie. Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you ever see The Visit, though?
No, that was the pseudo haunting one. I know. I need to. The
Visit is two kids go visit their grandparents.
Oh, perfect. It sounds hilarious.
And nope, it's good because he had a run of not good movies from
Avatar.
Debatable. Yeah, well, the debate here when he started to be not good, that's up for question. The confirmed not good M. Night movies are the
Happening,
the Happening, the one with Will Smith where he is coming to Earth again after. I don't know if it's a sequel to The Happening. I don't know. And then Avatar, The Last Airbender. I do not like that movie at all. And then he had the Visit came around somewhere after that, and I was like, "Ooh, he's coming back on his game." And then Split was pretty good. I have not seen Glass, and now Old. So I'm excited. Got 2 M. Night movies to watch, so got that going for me.
Get on it.
But that's But I mean, maybe after the credits, I'll watch M. Night. But after the credits, here we have Leslie meeting with people, talking about the Harvest Fest, and she starts talking with Sue Salad, who is the owner. Sue is trying to get a better location for her stand, and Leslie is like, salads are worthless and everybody hates them, and we're trying to spread happiness, not get people to hate themselves. So
salads are my life.
Yeah, what a waste of your life.
Was it? She was one of the caterers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. She's the one who actually prepared the meal for Leslie's dinner party.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, she did Leslie a huge favor, and so Leslie, I think that is the only reason why Leslie concedes here and says, "We'll make Sue salads the official healthy option of the Harvest Festival."
You want salads on Junk Food Boulevard?
I don't understand. I think Sue is just a misguided soul in this whole world of Pawnee, but specifically coming to a fair and offering salad.
Yeah.
Nobody wants that. Leslie is completely right here. Nobody wants salad at the fair because the fair is for food that you can hold in one hand.
No, well, I've seen salad fair salad, and it's usually, what do you call the wedge of iceberg lettuce with the blue cheese on it?
Yeah, it's a wedge salad.
Yeah, wedge. Yeah, it's right in the name. And I've seen, because it's like you could just hold it like a gigantic green taco, and that's not fried, right? Yeah. I have seen that, and I think they put bacon on it, bacon bits, blue cheese, and bacon bits. So it's more.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, and then they deep fry it. No, I don't know. But I have seen that.
I've never seen that at the fair.
It probably costs about 72 cents to make.
And $72 to buy.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you remember the SNL sketch about lettuce?
I don't know. I need more context.
It's a digital short.
Are they just eating heads of lettuce?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Andy Samberg and I think Will Forte. Like, he's sitting down on the stoop and he's like super bummed.
Yes.
And he just hands him a head of lettuce and they just start eating lettuce. It's really funny, but it's not on SNL. Huh. Or it's not on the YouTube.
Well, next time.
Oh, there it is. I found it. Yeah, it's Will Forte and Andy Samberg. Oh my gosh. I just found a playlist of all the digital shorts in chronological order.
Awesome.
I mean, what are you doing the rest of the day?
Yeah, we can. You just want to start with the first one?
What are you doing the rest of this podcast?
So, hey, listener, no. we're pivoting, I guess.
Well, it's important. Those are both former. Those are alums of Parks and Rec. So I'm not totally derailing.
Yeah.
So back to the meetings.
Awesome.
Leslie is so she's helping people get through all these different things, and talking about how exciting things are at the Harvest Festival. One of the meetings, she has to tell people no homebrewed water, and I don't want to taste it. And then Ken Hotate comes and tells them that they need to move the carnival because it was the site of a battle between settlers and the Wamapoke Indians. And Leslie is like, look, we're trying here, but we can't do what you're asking. This is the only place that can actually support the whole Harvest Festival. And at one point she says she does a talking head where she says it's hard to not be offensive given Pawnee's history. And it goes to a map of the city. And she says, this is a map of all of the atrocities. And in the map is a large blue area with several white little circles. And she says the atrocities are in blue. So it's a bad scene.
The Indian chief was shot 102 times. And Tom's like, did he die?
Well, it's one of the things that I've been watching with the subtitles on.
Yes.
And I've never caught before that Leslie actually says, after Tom says, did he die? Leslie actually says, yes. Really quietly. Yes, Tom, what a dumb question. So there's another time with the subtitles on that I had a moment of revelation. I was like, oh man, that's so great. So and that comes later. So Ken says, knowing that Leslie won't concede, is like, well, I can't help you. This land might be cursed. And cuts to a talking head where it says, there's two things he knows about white people. And in the version I watched today, it said, they love Rachel Ray and they are terrified of curses. And what I saw in the trivia, and I don't remember this, I remember watching it live, but the original broadcast said they love Matchbox 20 and are terrified of curses, which is still true.
And sometimes that's the same thing.
Now, are you saying you don't like Matchbox 20?
They're fine. They have a song, I think, or two.
I don't even know. Why do I let you push me around? Is it 3 a.m.? I must be lonely.
It might be by the time we finish this.
Here's the thing, Rob Thomas is a weirdo, and I understand a lot of why people I get it why people think Matchbox 20 is lame, but I'll be darned if a Matchbox 20 song comes on the radio or in my Spotify playlist, and I'm gonna listen to it and I'm gonna like it.
Yeah, when you hear the first intro to that song with the guitar coming in, you're like, all right, we're doing this thing. Now, yeah, that was a good album. It was a fun album, but I always got them confused.
They have multiple albums, my friend.
You know what? You and I, we go round to round, and you take your Matchbox 20, I'll take my Pearl Jam, and we can go our separate ways. That's fine. That's fine. See?
At least I can understand what Rob Thomas is saying. I have no idea what Eddie Vedder is mumbling through his songs. I don't know.
Is it Matchbox 20, Three Doors Down? I can't keep them. They all sound the same. I don't know. Gin Blossoms. I don't know. It's all. Ugh.
Okay. 2 out of 3 ain't bad, right? Gin Blossoms, pretty great. Matchbox 20, also pretty great. Three Doors Down.
What are you talking about? That you love Superman? Isn't he one of your favorite comic characters?
Yeah, but I just don't. That is literally the only song I've ever heard from them.
Literally. Yeah. All right.
So
that's fine.
But what do you think? What do you feel about The one with the two princes, that band, the name escapes
Oh,
me.
Spin Doctors.
Yeah, Spin Doctors. How do you feel about Spin Doctors?
Yeah, they had that song.
I agree.
Good. I'm glad we settled
I have
that.
tried so many times. I like in my Spotify playlist, if you go and find me and you see like what is Jason like, I liked all their albums because I wanted just to see like if it came up in a shuffle of liked songs, do I like this? No. I don't. It's really only two princes. And I don't know. I mean, I can't sing along to it other than the chorus, but then all of a sudden it goes into and that's my favorite part. So anyway. Yes.
I don't know what to say. I got nothing. I'm stymied.
So Ken,
for
yeah, dude, do it. That's my favorite part of Guitar Hero. One of the interesting things too, though, when you watch later on, there's a scene where Leslie goes to the casino, and in the background of the music, you hear Matchbox 20 being played.
Right.
So there's a connection there from earlier in the show, because one of the things about casinos that, the Native American casinos, like white people came and they took the land from all of the natives here in this great continent. And now Native Americans are taking all of the retirement from the white people. And so it's like, you know what?
One quarter at a time. It's great.
Yeah. Like, go for it. You guys are going a much less violent path, and I appreciate that. Yeah. So, so Leslie, and my next line here is Leslie and Ben flirt weird. And I think that what happened was it cuts to the next day as they're getting things started, and things are going well. And so Ben and Leslie are like, take that curse. And they're like shooting guns at the curse. And then they get a bazooka and shoot a bazooka at the curse. And it's all very strange. And Ben is just like, get a room, or Tom's like, get a room. So other people are seeing some bizarre flirtiness with them. And I think they know there's some weird relationship flirtiness happening in their own hearts, but they have yet to communicate this to each other.
Sure.
So
that sums it up pretty well.
Yeah. And
also, I was just going to say, like, during this Harvest Festival, two things is that this was shot all at a real festival. Like, they didn't make this for the show. They actually found a carnival that was going on, and I guess it was at Pierce College down in California. And then while they were shooting this, I guess it was over like 100 degrees during the entire shooting time. So, if you watch this and everyone looks just a little wilty, that's why.
Yeah. It looked very uncomfortable.
Yeah. And then Tom's wearing like his shirt underneath his other shirt. So
yeah,
kind of felt bad for him.
I have never understood that look. Like the button-up shirt, like under a t-shirt.
Yeah, no.
Like, what's the point?
I'll do
a long tee.
Yeah, long tee under a short tee. That's that's fine. That's very Matchbox 20. It's
yeah, you're a child of the 90s. So
yeah. So anyway,
and then put a flannel over it.
Well, around your waist.
So you're wearing and your Doc Martens.
Mm-hmm.
I never did get those Doc Martens. Yeah. So Leslie is telling people also, like, what?
Nothing. I was just gonna say I can only afford Masters Martins.
Mr. Martins.
Mr. Martins.
Please, Dr. Martin is my dad's shoes.
If you put Dr. Scholl's and Doc Martens, do you get like a wizard?
Well, you get a very well educated foot. So multi-disciplines.
So stupid.
I don't know if it is or not. We'll find out. Listener, tell us. Was that stupid? So Leslie tells everybody as well, like, hey, Joan Calamezzo is coming, and she's always looking for a scandal, which we know as we've gotten to know Joan a little bit. And so she's like, everybody just be on the lookout and do well. And then she says, everybody come in for the pep talk. And they're all coming into a circle holding hands. And I love Ron. He's like, I don't hold hands. And he actually like shepherds people together so that he can stand behind them.
Perfect.
And he's like, his hands are together. He's like holding his own hands and like waving them a little bit. Like, yes, I'm agreeing with you, but I do not hold hands. So then Ron, Leslie says, if you have any problems, go talk to Ron. And Ron's like, I love having Leslie being Leslie's boss because she takes care of everything and there's no problem. So I get to spend the next 7 days reading this book, which is a Patrick O'Brien book. It is, if you saw Master and Commander, it's that series of books that inspired that movie. And that's a good movie. It's a good movie.
Yeah.
I thought you might have more to say about Master and Commander. So
no. Just that was the 14th book, right?
Was
in
it
the series?
I haven't read any of these books.
The Nutmeg of Consolation.
Yes, that is what IMDb trivia says.
No, I mean, I'm just a huge fan.
Are you?
Nope.
Who else reads books about submarines? My dad.
Nobody asked.
You don't need to. The waiter doesn't need to know your name.
We all see it. those are really funny commercials. I
like
great. Those.
I was hoping for something from that in the Super Bowl,
right?
And I don't know why they didn't shoot their shot. But
all right, up next we're going to open up a PDF. Who wants to go?
And they all like back away. So great. I keep looking at the wrong screen for my notes. So Ron is like totally looking forward to a vacation at the fair, which sounds awful, but he just gets to read his book. And then it cuts to Donna and Anne working together in the medical tent, and Anne starts talking about her breakup with Chris and is having a really hard time, and she's spiraling out of control and like making bad decisions. And Donna says, they say to like talk about your feelings. I'm going to advise you to bottle that up. And Anne's response to that is, that's what my mailman said.
Yes.
And then Joan shows, and she looks like an impressive festival. And then she was also weird about shaking Ben's hand.
Oh, so funny.
Which is awkward and perfect.
Yes.
So, because Joan has this weird, like, wanting to be the alpha in the room. And so one of the ways she does that is in how she receives praise from Tom, because she knows that Tom is buttering her up. And this gives her power over Tom. But then also, she is weird with Ben and doesn't touch him. Like, it's just bizarre. So, very funny. And then so she starts looking at stuff and she's like, look at that Ferris wheel. It's a giant wheel of death. And like asking how many of the carnies are illegal. So like looking for any scandals she can find. Ben and Leslie have answers for everything. And then Leslie says, we're pretty excited about having Larry Bird's mom here, Tilda. And Jonah's like, you got Tilda? I just love that. She's pretty excited.
Yeah, and spoilers, the Ferris wheel comes back around again.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Perfect. Good job. Did you write that down? Like
I literally wrote that down.
Wheel comes back around again.
Yep.
From the top. So the Ferris wheel is do you like Ferris wheels? As a ride?
Yeah, they're my favorite of the wheels, I guess. Besides my car wheels. Yeah, no, I mean, they're fine because you can see stuff, which is fun for a little while. But then you get stuck at certain places, like when they're trying to let everybody off. And and there's no order to that too. I feel like when they let people off, it's not like in sequential order. They skip people, and then you go back. I don't know what that's about. I swear it's just the person just messing with people.
Yeah, the owner of the Ferris wheel, he who spins the Ferris wheel,
Mr. Bueller,
the world. Like they have so much control over people's lives.
Like you will sit there.
You may or may not get off of this wheel. It's completely up to me. And
we were visiting a fair up north, and their generator kept literally cutting, like no joke, it kept cutting out. And so people in the bouncy houses or the Ferris wheel and stuff, they would get stuck, and then the bouncy house would start to deflate with people inside. This happened
frightening
3 or 4 times while we were there, and we're like, I think we're done with this, with the rides and stuff. Let's go see the the raffle for the truck or something. I don't know.
Wow, I'm sorry that you had to go endure that.
It's okay. I had some funnel cake and it was all good.
Yeah, it covered over the emotion. I funneled my sadness into this cake, and it came out happy. It's then also, so Tilda's here, the Ferris wheel's here, everything's coming together, and then Leslie says, and here's the main attraction, and leads Joan to Lil Sebastian, and she flips out again. And then we see Tom is here, and he starts flirting with Joan, and my note is Tom is gross with Joan. And that is just 100% true all the time. And then it cuts to Andy and April, and Andy is trying to win the throw the ring around the bottle top game, and he's like, man, this game is really hard. It's almost like they don't want you to win. And that's true. And he says, I'm going to win you 1 million teddy bears. April says, how about 1 billion? He says, that's unrealistic.
Yeah.
It's 2 million. And April then says that she loves Andy, and Andy responds like, no way, that's awesome sauce.
And tries to give her a high five.
Yes, which is not a great reaction to that. And April is immediately annoyed. So then it cuts back to Tom talking about how he sees Lil Sebastian as a advertising opportunity for the Snake Hole Lounge. So his little coat has a billboard, basically. He's turning Lil Sebastian into a NASCAR. And so you must really like Tide. And
not a lot of horsepower on that.
No, it's barely even a whole horse. So then Joan is trying to get into Ben's head about being a failure. Like it seems like, the Harvest Festival is going to go well, but Ben is a failure because of Ice Town. And so she starts interrogating him there. And so it's not working. Ben's holding firm. That cuts to Tom, who is on the phone with the guy, the owner of the Snake Hole Lounge. And Jerry comes back from getting funnel cakes, and he sees the gate is open and Lil Sebastian has escaped. And Tom immediately tries to blame Jerry. So that's going to be the main problem here. The first indication that there could be a curse. And Joan is doing her interview, her news piece, and says this Harvest Festival is going to be fine. It's going to be good, and invites people to come. And they're like, take that curse, boom, 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 boom again. And then she overhears them saying that there could be a curse. And Tom runs over to tell them about Lil Sebastian. And Joan immediately retells the story with potential danger. Look for chipped paint, look for scary people, all this stuff. You know the drill.
The spooky traffic lights. That was my favorite one.
Yeah. What does that have to do with inside the fair?
Right. It's just like the abandoned streets during a storm, and the traffic lights are swaying back and forth as they blink. It's like I know you just know that shot, and it doesn't matter. It's like this is Armageddon. Like this is just going to kill everybody. It's great.
Yeah. Or it could also just be a statement that we, like when she says, the drill, like, exactly which light to go to in Pawnee. Go get that. We could have it as saved B-roll, but just go get it today real quick. Right. Because Pawnee is a dumpster fire in many ways. Or as Leslie says, because it cuts to the commercial, and then after commercial break, Anne and Leslie are in the medical tent, and she's talking about how this is a poop-nado. And it's really bad. And then Ben and Leslie Ben says, do people really believe in curses? And then she lists the different things that could be going wrong. Turns out it's a quadruple lightning rod event, a classic 4-rod curse.
Oh, yeah.
And Ben's like, are they really that suspicious here? And Leslie says, cuts to a picture of Leslie talking in City Hall by the mural, and say, a traveling magician came to Pawnee, and they believed that he was a warlock, so they burned him at the stake. The year was 1973.
And they tied the bunny up to the stake too, because he pulled the bunny out of the hat. And it says, and in the back is like the Pawnee Mall, and everyone has kind of like shaggy. It's so good.
Yeah, so that is pretty hilarious. So
once again, how big is City Hall to have all of these murals? It's
it's kind of like the TARDIS. It's bigger on the inside.
There you go.
And then Ron then gets everybody rallied together. His only concern is Lil Sebastian. Mm-hmm. This little man is out there. He's probably alone. He's scared. And so he's going to give everybody tasks to do. And at one point he's like, he doesn't have He can't be far. He has the stamina of Tom, or the legs of Tom, the stamina of Jerry, and the diseases of Jerry. So like, he can't be getting far from us. And so then Anne and Leslie are talking about the curse, and then there's a TV on in the medical tent for some reason. And it's Ken has gone on Perd's show to give his side of the story, and they have those exclusive animations that were all the rage several years ago. And it's like terrible animation, and there's no actual words. And the reason for that is because, have you ever looked into those animation things that they used?
From Taiwan or something. Yeah, because they need to be multilingual. So they just go.
Yeah,
which I think we should do sections of this podcast that way. Then everyone could listen to it.
I'm sure some people are already feeling that we're doing that.
Yeah, that's true. So, even for
so it's all good. I mean, that's just music, right?
Sure. Art is anything you want it to be.
But in the animation, I love the animation with Ken is portrayed in Leslie's office, and Leslie's like, no, and then Ken starts doing like a what would probably be determined to be an offensive stereotype of a Native American dance. Right. And then all the spirits of the room go and possess Leslie. And it cuts to Perd going, is that what happened? And Leslie says, that's not what happened at all. And Ken just says, that's exactly what happened. So that is one of my favorite moments there. And
I feel like you're going to explain some more about those animations, or did?
Well, no, it's more? Just they would just use those in multiple countries, so they couldn't have a language. So it's a pretty brilliant idea.
Yeah.
They just need to put some more money into making it good looking.
Well, it's like the Disney, the Pixar shorts now. A lot more and more of them are either silent or they mumble like that. I don't know if you've noticed, but
yeah,
yeah,
I have noticed.
There you go.
Because they know, like, the short is part of the purpose for the short is experimenting with animation technique,
right,
and new technologies. And so that's where the money is going, into the short. Like, so they have a story, and then they are using this short story to get to perfect some technology, which is brilliant. Like, it's like research and development tied in with good storytelling, and then also recognizing we can make a lot of money off of this
and win an Academy Award.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I have yet to watch a short where I was like, that was a total waste of my time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're all good, in my opinion.
I just watched one called Lou about the Lost and Found, and it's so good. It's really good.
I have not seen this one.
You have to you look it up. It's great. Anyway, yeah. So and then right after Ken says that's exactly what happened, Perd's like, stay tuned for curse coverage, which is just like, because it's like, storm warning.
They're all in on this. So I mean, right now we are in the middle of a snowpocalypse.
That's true.
In our region, and I have a light dusting of snow, but I'm positive we're all going to die. So
just based on the news coverage, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's what it is. Like, it was, breaking in on impeachment trial coverage. There might be some snow. Like, who cares?
And it's going to rain 4 days after. So we're going to have like 48 hours of snow, and yet, dude, be prepared. You could die if you don't have candles.
Really?
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, I better go to Yankee Candle. Does it have to be like the good smelling candles, or can
it helps? You should get you should get like the cinnamon cookie ones.
My wife said that she might make cinnamon rolls.
Well, there you go. Now you can just get regular candles.
Yeah, I would think. I don't understand why they don't make like lemon pledge candles.
Oh, because it's just your house smells clean all the time, like bleach candle.
Well, like something to just like
toilet bowl cleaner candle.
Just to give a hint that, I cleaned this.
Febreze candle.
No, Febreze is a dead giveaway. Somebody farted or died in here. So you need something that was like, oh, you mopped. And then you're like, no, I didn't. It's my little secret. So where are we?
Andy, hide on the merry-go-round.
Yeah. Andy said if I was a mini horse, I'd hide on the mini ground. Nobody be able to find me. It's the perfect crime. And April is totally pissed. And he's like, listen, I don't understand why you're mad at me. And then it cuts to April giving a talking head about how she's not mad and like, being all April. And Andy comes through and he says, this maze is like a maze.
Yeah.
And this is where I wrote subtitles for the win, because it's not just like Andy's dumb at mazes. He is using maize as corn.
M-A-I-Z.
Yes. And I was like, oh, I love the subtitles. This maze is like a maze. It's so good.
And I guess in the on-air one, the line was there's another part that they cut out, and he goes, oh, so that's why the Native Americans called it maize.
That's funny. Yeah, so many good jokes. So then it cuts back to the medical tent, and Anne is with this buff dude,
Jersey Shore guy.
Yeah. Is he the situation?
He is a situation.
Who is he? Joseph Joey Russo, right?
Yeah,
Kylie?
I don't think he's not a Jersey Shore guy, but like I think they said like let's get a Jersey Shore guy. Like let's get someone who looks like that.
Yeah, well, somebody's going to look this up.
Okay,
that's not a thing.
This is one of my favorite jokes though from this. Honestly, is like you want to feel my abs? He's like, oh, are you experiencing abdominal pain? He's like, every day at the gym.
Such a sleaze.
It's such a stupid funny line. It's so good, and yet Anne's like, oh yeah, okay, I'll touch him. So,
ugh. He was in a TV movie called Jersey Shore Shark Attack.
Oh
in
yeah,
2012.
Did he die in it? Did the shark eat him?
I don't know.
That's why he's on.
I did not watch this. He was also in a short called The Armadillo.
Mm-hmm.
He was in
kind of
Jersey
looks like
Boys
an armadillo
as Joey. Small Shots as Joey. He plays a lot of people named Joey. And that's
his name. Yeah.
So
he doesn't have to stray too far from the character.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not good at names.
Just call me Joey. We already have a Joey.
Well then, but I don't have a name in this show. Okay.
Did you notice that in this? So Donna says, use him, abuse him, and lose him. She's wearing a stethoscope. No.
Why?
Why?
Donna's not trained at this.
It looks good. It looks good. It's like, it's treat yourself. It's kind of this nice shiny thing.
Yeah, and that
she's accessorizing.
That she's trying to help Anne get over Chris is like, hey, use him, abuse him, and lose him. She learned that from her grandma.
Yeah.
It's like like their family is messed up, is all I gotta say. So so Anne is like, let me think about it. And then it cuts to Ron, and this is where he says he couldn't have gotten legs. He got the legs of Tom, he couldn't have gotten far. Legs of Tom, endurance of Jerry, and the disease of Jerry. So everybody goes up to the Ferris wheel for a bird's eye view. And then there's a late press conference at the festival. And again, if you look out at the crowd of this press conference, there are too many people for Pawnee Press. Nobody cares. And there's there's Purds there, Jones there, the whole gang. And as they're talking, there's no curse. Immediately the power goes out.
And if you look at the background, the Ferris wheel keeps going in the back.
Well, I think everything has to slow down for power to go out. Like it does not go out at once, which is dumb. It
needs to be dramatic. It has to be dramatic.
Yeah, it's raising the tension. Like,
sure,
will they get off of that Ferris wheel, that spinning wheel of death? No, power goes out. So tension relieved, and Tom immediately blames Jerry for the power outage. And everybody's like, Jerry's fault. Ben thinks he's the curse, so he's going to get out. Everybody's fighting on the Ferris wheel, and Ron shuts them up and explains everything. Like, Tom, we know this is your fault. Jerry, we know you were shotgunning funnel cakes. Andy, April's mad at you because she said, I love you, and you said awesome sauce. April, stop being a child. And everybody, he forces everybody to apologize, and they all apologize. And Andy says, I do love you. That's what makes the sauce so awesome.
Aww.
Which is going on all of my Valentine's Day cards forever.
I love dad, like dad Ron, like when he drops the wisdom again and is just like, knock it off, everybody. I mean, Ron has his faults. Like, obviously, he's sitting there trying to read a book while he's supposed to be working, but he's not.
That's not his fault.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, he has his own flaws, I guess is what I'm saying. But then ultimately he sees through everybody, and he tries to stay out of it, but then they need Ron. Like, he's necessary. He's not just, and they keep bringing him out like this, which is great.
Yeah, he is the adult.
Yeah.
In a room or an office of crazy. Ron is the adult.
Right. He doesn't want to be. Like, he's like the babysitter who doesn't want to be there.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like the classic sitcom trope of like dad is aloof or dad is like dumb. Often in sitcoms, like it's usually dad's fault.
Right.
And here it's dad knows how to fix it, but doesn't want to.
Exactly.
So it's kind of turning the trope on its head a little bit. And even though he's not actually any of their fathers.
Sure. In
real life or in fiction. So they cut to the tent. Everything happens in this medical tent. So Leslie is talking to an electrician who tells her, like, yeah, what happened? The TV crews overloaded the generator. So this curse is the TV crew's fault, which is a slight little commentary on how the media ruins everything. And Leslie even says subtly, freedom of press is for the birds. So, but it was interesting. Like they wanted a scandal, and they showed up, and a scandal happened.
Right.
But if the media had just ignored the whole thing, there would be no scandal. So, so that's why I don't read. So then Ed is like, yeah, they overloaded the generator, and Leslie says, but I got this massive generator for this exact purpose. And he's like, hey, you really know your generators. Are you single? It's like, not now, Ed. and so then he says there's one other place, and it's at the Wamapote tribe. Like, they are the only other people with this generator. So Leslie goes to the casino, and that's where you hear Matchbox 20 playing in the background of the casino. And she's asking Ken's help for the generator, and discharges Abs dude, and then they decide to make out for a while, which is troubling. And Leslie asking Ken is like, I need you to make a deal with me and like help me out. And she's like, oh, the government asking the Native Americans for help, that can't go wrong.
Yeah. I love yeah, and he does, but I love, sorry, they had this mutual respect like the entire time, though. Like, he is trying to do good by his people, and she's trying to get this thing going, and he's got her over the coals right now. But they have this really good mutual respect, because I think Ken knows Leslie, and it's kind of nice that they built in like this history. It feels like they've known each other for a long time, so there's this mutual respect there. Then
early on, when he comes to the office, Leslie greets him in Wamapote, and so it's one of those things where it's like she has done the work to pay attention to his culture,
right?
Which,
maybe
people of Earth, pay attention to other people.
Yeah, and maybe you'll be blessed with 1 million possums too. I don't know, but there's only one way to find out. Let's try.
Yeah, we had a possum in our side shed. I think I've told this story before.
Yeah.
And I had to get it with a shovel and throw it over the fence. Long story. That's about it. So short story long.
Did you see the on the outside of the Wamapoke, the white shot that playing was Rachel Ray?
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So she was at the casino.
Why?
Well, because she's doing a cooking concert, I guess. I don't know.
I guess. Yeah. What I was going to say about the possum is my wife still calls it an armadillo. She thinks we had an armadillo.
Nope.
In our side shed. And I have to keep telling her, they don't live here.
They don't. I mean, it might have been a possum with armor, but
it wasn't.
Probably not.
She's like, she will say, do you remember when we had the armadillo in the side shed? I was like, no, I don't remember that. I remember when we had the possum in the side shed.
Was it propose color?
Purposey. Oh, my wife. Yeah. So Ken agrees to loan the generator because Leslie is going to move the Wamapote Heritage Center right by the main entrance, so they get sad before they have any fun. And that's enough for Ken to say, okay, thank you. And so then she's like, I need you to come and help me lift the curse. And so he comes and like does this curse ceremony where he is saying in Wamapote, like, you can't understand me anyway. It doesn't really matter. All of this doesn't make sense. Yabba dabba do. And he's throwing dust onto the people, and like the curse is lifted.
And the best part is when he drops the dust, like the very last time, like the camera crew, like you see everybody look down, like they pan down, like it's this big, ceremonial, like it's so impressive and important that they're just filming the dust on the ground, which I thought was hilarious.
Yeah. So, so the curse is lifted. Jose and Huzzah. They found Lil Sebastian. So that has been saved. He was in the corn maze. It took them 4 hours to solve the maze. It took the horse 15 minutes, and Jerry is still out there. And it cuts to him eating corn right off the husk, which is great. And Harvest Fest starts, and it looks super fun. And like, Ron is running the train, and this is one of those times again where we see the pure joy of Ron as he's running the tiny train for the kids. Ben comes back and
with Tom sitting in the back of
on the caboose
on the caboose with the kids because he's the same size.
Right, it's a Tom size train. And then the Ben comes back and he says, "Look, I was overreacting, and I'm glad they're making up." And he says, Leslie is like, "Listen, Icetown was probably your fault. It sounds like you mismanaged the heck out of it." And he's like, "Why'd you have to say that?
Why are you saying
this?" So then Ken comes, is like, "Is this the guy?" And he like says some stuff in Wamapote, and he just throws some dust right in Ben's face, and he's like, "Curse has been lifted."
He says, but it translates to "here, dummy."
Yeah. I was typing, and so I didn't get to look at what it translated as, but I remember from before. It was funny. So curse has been lifted, and then Leslie's like, you need to go clean up. You need to look professional.
Yeah.
So so then it cuts to the credit scene, and everybody's there watching Little Sebastian, and Ben is pretending to care. Pretends to get it. Yeah. Like, I really don't understand what the big deal is. And as he's talking to the camera, the little Sebastian whinnies, and everybody like freaks out. And he's like, Leslie turns around like, "Ben, he just whinnied." He's like, "Oh yeah, I saw that. It was awesome." I don't get it.
Yeah, looks at the camera and like, nope.
So that's Harvest Fest. So this is the project that the town has been building for. It's a huge success. It's going to save everybody's jobs. So we have the rest of season 3. So that worked out for us. And then it will also get season 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1 episode, season 8. So that's Harvest Fest. Any other trivia or notes that that we should be aware of?
I not really, but right at that last montage, Tom Petty's American Girl plays during that whole kind of thing when everything's good and fun. And yeah, that song was perfect. It was a perfect choice for that section of editing. It was great. And it cranes out, and there's a overhead shot that shows the whole carnival in town. And I love the Sweetums tent, which I thought was really funny. And it was good.
Yeah, I love this episode. It's an 8.8.
Yeah,
on the IMDb out of 10. And all in all, it's a good episode. Everybody is pretty much involved except for Rob Lowe. Chris Traeger is not in this episode at all, but he is credited.
Because he left, right? He had to go to Muncie, or no?
He's in Indianapolis, and then they want to send him to Muncie, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. No,
Snurling.
Snurling. He went to Snurling first, then Indianapolis. I thought
so. It ultimately doesn't really matter, but it's good. Tanya is Sue's Salad's lady name is Tanya. Sorry, I was looking at the cast. Anyway.
Oh yeah,
distracted. So
it's okay.
We meet Ken Hotate. We meet Lil Sebastian.
Mm-hmm.
Many good things come
Ben-
from this episode.
Ben and Leslie hug, which was kind of like, so this is the start of them like with their flirting, and then they hug when she like kind of lifts him up a little bit and says, this is, this is great. This is a good thing that, I'm glad you're here. You help. This is your project too. And you're not cursed and you're good at this. So, and then they hug and it's like, okay, we can kind of see counterpoint to the whole end of the season. I do understand that feeling. Like it does feel like, hey, we did it. It's over. But I also like just the way television is, it would feel like there's no stakes to come back to next season. So in a way, I'm kind of glad that they wrapped it up, and now we can get into more Pawniness during this season, and then see what happens at the end that we have to come back to. So that's, I mean, yeah, it does totally feel like a season ending episode, but yeah, I don't mind. Like, so much stuff goes wrong in Pawnee that to have something good happen in the middle of the season feels good too.
I'll allow it.
Okay. All right. Woo.
Yeah.
That was a close one.
I'm on board with that. I think it's yeah. I love where the rest of this episode, the season goes.
Yeah.
So like it just keeps building, I feel like. But there is if it was in the fall and it was like a mid-season finale, like
sure.
it just had this this feeling like we should have a break here.
Right. Yeah.
But but I've been, I was raised by television, and so I have these rhythms of television in my life that dictate most of the way I operate in the world. So, I mean, how many commercial breaks did we take during this recording? Like 3 or 4, right?
Yeah, usually at the 7-minute mark, 14-minute mark. Yeah.
So, but anyway, yeah, that's next. I forgot to look for what's next. What's the next the next situation?
Camping.
Oh yes, this is great. I found you. I had to fight a squirrel.
We got camping, fancy party, soulmates, Jerry's painting. Yeah, there's some real good ones coming up here.
So many good ones.
Yeah. And then Eagleton. Eagleton it's rated, but just the setup. There's so many good ones in season 3, and we have a ways to go. So yeah, I'm excited.
All right. Well, we should wrap this up so that we can come back around to do the next one sooner.
Okay, that sounds good.
I mean, it'll be the same time that we normally record it, but
sure.
Yeah, but we don't have to.
The sooner we stop, the sooner we can get to it.
Well, no, not really.
No. So we should just keep going.
Well, I don't know if that's a cost, like the cost like of keeping recording is helping us right now.
Oh yeah, it's free to record though.
That's true.
We could just read the script. If we could read the script, and we could each take characters, kind of like the table read during Michael Scarn's Threat Level Midnight.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well,
I get all-time purred. All-time purred.
Dang it.
My spirit animal is a doggy. So.
All right.
Well,
I'll
talk to you later, man.
Sounds good. I will talk to you later.
Okay, bye.
Bye.